Yeah, hey Devin, congratulations on the win. Obviously, you started out really fast, got into some foul trouble. Just watching from the bench, I mean, how impressed were you watching some of your younger guys come in and really keep that lead for you guys up till halftime?
That was huge. We got in a rhythm in the first half, right out the gates. I got in foul trouble and then the energy, the effort never went down. The young boys came in, Shaq, Cam, Darion, they picked it up. They kept us going. But as soon as I got in foul trouble, there was no drop, man. This was really a team win and a team effort. So I'm really happy.
Joe?
Yeah, just to follow up on that, just how does it feel, especially considering you didn't have any of those marquee games to really get you ready for the intensity of a game like tonight?
This year with COVID and with everything going on, it just shows you basketball is basketball. It doesn't matter where, when. We miss our fans. The fans would have been in here rocking, giving us even more energy. But basketball is basketball, and it can be taken away. So we're grateful to play.
Corey, go ahead.
Devin, as you were walking on, we could faintly hear you saying, "We finally got those boys." What did it mean to you to finally get this win against UNC?
I'm telling you, I'm so happy. Just during the game, I could feel the growth with this team. This was a whole team effort. Even the guys who didn't get in the game, we felt their energy on the court. And we really stuck together. They went on some runs. They competed. They're a great team, a great program. But, even with all the young players, even with some guys sitting out, we came together and we got the win. So it's huge.
You talked a little bit about Shaq's performance earlier, but have you seen that before, that kind of shooting from him? Because we know he's capable of being strong on the defensive end and a high energy guy, but his offense really stepped up tonight.
Shaq is a monster, man. He's still getting his feet wet. He's freshman, he's young, he's athletic. But, the biggest thing with our freshmen, they have no fear. They weren't scared of the moment. Those are North Carolina guys, so they probably been dreaming about this game their whole life, and they really stepped up. So I'm really proud of them.
Thanks, Devin.
Lawrence, go ahead.
Devin, a good game tonight. You talked about the game you had in the loss. Your mentality wasn't right. What was the team's mentality coming into this game?
Shoot, getting back to the basics. The whole season, the coaches they've really been harping on defense and getting on the boards. We still got to clean up the boards, but our pressure and the way we came out with our energy in the first half, really set the tone during the game. We were aggressive. We weren't afraid of shots. We weren't hesitating. We were pressuring them, making it hard for their post and their guards. So that was the biggest thing, not waiting for them to punch us first.
Justin?
Hey, Devin, congrats on the win and the performance tonight. There was one point in the second half with just over 8 minutes to go. Carolina hit a three to make it a 1-point game, and then you scored the next 8 points for NC State. As a senior leader on this team, did you feel like at that point you needed to kind of take over and give the team a boost?
Honestly, I did not know that. I didn't even know the game got to 1 point. I was really just in the moment, having fun, playing hard, trying to get a dub for Wolfpack Nation. So, if that's how it went, if I got that high hand at that moment, I'm glad I did. But it's not like I was searching for
it. Thanks, Devin.
Gibson?
Yeah, Devin, you touched on it just a little bit earlier. Just how weird was it to go out there and not have any fans out there and having to kind of generate your own energy out there? But I guess you didn't have to do that playing Carolina. But just how strange was it?
We all know how PNC gets. These fans consistently on a year-to-year basis are like number one in attendance every year. So the intensity, the energy they bring in this place, is magnetic. We definitely feel it. But we feel their energy from home. They're all tuned in, still praising us, still working with us. So we appreciate them.
All right, it looks like that's it. Thanks, Devin.
Appreciate y'all.
in this game without DJ being in there. Obviously, you've known for the last 2 games DJ wasn't going to be in there, but going into this one, going into UNC's bigs, how much did you feel like you had to be, kind of the guy to be able to be the last piece of defense against those UNC players?
It was definitely important. That's one thing like coach has been emphasizing for me like these past 2 games, just to try not to go for every shot, just stay on the ground and wall up and just stay in the game as long as I can to help the team.
And you only had 3 fouls in this game. Was there something you were doing differently than you have in a few other games where you've had some foul trouble?
I just stay vertical. I didn't want to jump too much. Like if the ball was already in the air, but then I could jump. But I didn't want to jump too much this game.
Thanks, man.
Lawrence?
Yeah, Manny, kind of on those same lines. Towards the end of the game, you had a couple of key defensive plays and a key block. What was going through your mind there? Were you thinking about not fouling? Was that ever in the back of your mind there?
Like in those moments, I wasn't really like thinking about fouling. I just wanted to get the stop. That was like my biggest thing. I try to go into games like not focus on like what the refs are doing. I'm just controlling what I can control, and just try to get the stop.
Alec?
Manny, I just wanted to ask, how impressed were you with the way some of the freshmen played in this game? Obviously, Shaq Moore in the first half really took over the scoring at one point, but then also Darion Sebron, I think, had 7 rebounds. Just how good was those young guys stepping up?
I'm extremely proud of my guys. Coach has been talking to the young guys about like their opportunity, and today was their day. Shaq shot out, and Darion came in and contributed wherever we needed.
Corey?
Manny, kind of as a follow-up to that, you were a redshirt freshman in those shoes last year. How much do games like this, especially ACC play, force you to kind of grow up in those situations?
You definitely have to mature very early. This time last year, coach had to tell me like I can't be a freshman. I have to be like a sophomore or a junior, just like have that knowledge of what to expect in games like these.
All right. Thanks, Manny. That's it.
Thank you all. Merry Christmas.
Start taking any questions. Corey?
Shaq, we've known you've been a strong defensive player throughout your career, but what did it mean to you to be able to step up in this spotlight and hit shots like you did tonight?
It meant a lot. It meant a lot, being able to see the guys hoop, early and take a lead and me follow them, coming in the game. It meant a lot for me, though. It meant a lot. Definitely, yeah.
Lawrence?
Hey, Shaq. How big was it for you? I know you grew up in the area, so how big was it for you to be playing in the rivalry game and to have a big game like you did tonight?
It was big, just because, first ACC game, it's our rival, so it was just big for me to be able to step up and, get the minutes and show out and show up.
Jonas, go ahead.
Hey, Shaq, thanks for taking the time and speaking with us. I wanted to ask you, going up against those 2 freshmen, RJ and Caleb, they came in with a lot of accolades, McDonald's All-American, and a lot of attention. Was this personal for you and maybe even for Cam to show that you're a pretty good freshman backcourt as well?
Pretty much, yeah. It definitely was. Our high school, our senior year, we played together on CP3, and, we seen them guys all summer. And, it just wasn't anything new to us, so it was just something to keep the chip on our shoulder and show that we're just as good as guards as they are, if not better.
You mentioned that chip on your shoulder. Do you think that's kind of what fueled you in this game, maybe more so than the other games, because you were playing against those guys? You wanted to show that you were just
definitely. I've always kept a chip on my shoulder. Keeping that chip just got me to where I am today, and I'm never going to let it leave my shoulder.
Justin?
Hey, Shaq, congrats on the win and the performance tonight. Obviously, the three-point shot was going down for you pretty much all game, but there was one point, I think it was like 10 minutes to go in the second half, where you had a good look from the corner and you pump faked, went to the basket, and had a great slam dunk. Did you feel like that was a turning point, in terms of energy for the bench? Because it looks like the bench just exploded, and from that point on, the momentum seemed to be your way. But just your thoughts on that play. Definitely
a turning point. For our team, we're big on energy, the defense, pressure, all that type of things. But with me being able to hit those shots, they started hard closing me. So I just figured, one simple pump fake and rip baseline, I could get that and show my athleticism there.
All right, Andrew.
Shaquille, with you being from North Carolina, was playing in this rivalry something that you always dreamed about? And what did it mean to you to get to play in it and not only, to win and play well against UNC?
It meant so much to me. Everybody talks about Carolina, and blue bloods this, blue bloods that, but it just meant a lot for me to be able to come in and, handle what I can handle and, show coach that he can trust me out there playing defense and making plays for my team. So it was just a big game for me, and it felt good. It definitely felt good for me.
All right, we'll take one more with Corey.
Shaq, going back to that dunk, you know which one I'm talking about. In the second half, we've seen you do that a lot, high school with Moravian last year, down the street at Broughton. But what did it mean to do it at PNC and have it, in that situation?
It meant a lot for me because, first ACC game, I got to bring the energy. And I know I'm one of the energy guys on the team, and it's just my job to come in and bring that energy to the team.
Thanks, Shaq.
All right, thanks, Shaq.
No doubt. I appreciate you all.
On the win, we'll go ahead and start with just a general statement, and then we'll open it up to questions.
Let me get a quick drink, guys. You don't mind? Well, first of all, I'm proud of my team, and I thought we fought for 40 minutes. And one of the things we talked about in the locker room that, obviously at the end of the half, we didn't close the half the right way, but basketball's a game of runs. I thought we got up really big in the first half and then didn't close in the second. They made a little comeback in the second half, but our guys, we bend a little bit. We never broke. Our guys were really locked in. We played a tremendous game. I'm excited about the way we played. When we scheduled the St. Louis game, we don't win this Carolina game if we don't play the St. Louis game. Very identical game because we were up, similar to 7-8 points against St. Louis at halftime. I think it was 7, but we just didn't have enough bodies and we didn't finish the game. And I thought we did a great job finishing today. I'm excited for our guys. I'm excited for one reason that we're 1-0 in the conference and going to Christmas break. We played a very good Carolina team. They're very talented. They're tough to guard. They've got great size. They get out in transition. But I thought it was a really good game by us. So, question.
Corey?
Kevin, how important was the performance of Manny Bates in tonight's game? Because you knew that you were going to be without DJ in this one, going against those UNC big men. How important was Manny's performance in this one?
Manny was great. When you look at his stat line, I think it was 14, 7, and 5 blocks. He knew it. We knew that he was going to have to play against 4 guys who were 6'10" or better. But he did a tremendous job. I thought he held his own. He did a great job rebounding the ball. He protected the paint for us when we got beat off the dribble. And then obviously he did a great job being around the basket finishing. I thought Jalen Gibson came in. When you look at his stat line, he didn't have much, but we were able to throw a bigger body in there as far as his height. And Jericho Helms, everybody's going to kill him because he didn't play well and he's 0 for 8. But he battled. He did a great job. Garrison Brooks has hurt us pretty much every time we played, and I thought he did a good job of guarding him most of the night.
And on the outside, Shaq, when we're in this one, I mean, what can you say about his performance in his, now 6th game of his career, having that type of performance against UNC?
Fearless, tough. Didn't know he was playing UNC. The only reason he knew he was playing UNC because you guys told him after the game. He loves to play. Between him and Cam Hayes, we've got 2 really talented guards. Obviously those guys are really good, but he made shots. He what an unbelievable dunk he had. Great defender, and it was good for him to play well for us.
Jonas, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, along those similar lines of Corey's question, when you were recruiting Shaq, it was always easy to see that he had that toughness and that fearlessness in him. How contagious is that throughout the lineup? And when's the last time you had a freshman like that who just had that mentality from day one?
Yeah, it's tough. Probably the last guy that I even coached, and I was assistant there, was guys like Peyton Seaver, who were just tough, just bulldogs. Shaq's tough. He'll fight you. He'll claw at you. He's super athletic. He's super competitive. And, one of the things that we've talked about in recruiting is we want to try to get guys who are super tough or super skilled, and try to stay away from the in-between. And with him, it's one of those things that, as we saw him, this kid's not a top 100 guy. He's a really good basketball player. Him and both Cam were talking about their days of playing AAU together. And, obviously they were excited about the opportunity to play, and he showed up.
And Shaq, as a follow-up, Shaq said he kind of took it personal, because Caleb and RJ are good players and they got so many accolades, but Shaq said he wanted to show that he was good too. Could you see that look in his eye all day knowing he was matched up against those guys?
Yeah, Jonas, I don't know about that look in this guy. I'm glad he's on my team.
Lawrence, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Coach. As we go into this Christmas break, are you worried about your players at all? Just being safe?
Yes. I worry about them before Christmas break. It's the virus is spiking everywhere. And so, I made the decision to allow those guys to go home. Christmas to me is about family. Unfortunately for me, I won't get a chance to go home and see my parents in Lynchburg, Virginia, because I don't want to, obviously, in case I have something, pass it along to those guys. But I thought it was important for them to get the opportunity to go home. We've talked about trying to do the right thing, trying not to be in crowds. It's going to be tough because everybody's going to be congratulating them about their big win before Christmas. But, yes, to answer your question, I'm always worried. I'll continue to worry. It's just a tough deal that we're dealing with.
Well, thank you.
Joe, go ahead.
I think you're muted, Joe.
Oh, Kevin. What effect do you think the empty building had on the game?
Joe, and I don't know that, and I don't know if we ever would know that. It's one of those things that we've talked about. I think the way we play, Joe, helps us a little bit different than some other teams because we press, and so it forces you to use energy, and you become your own energy at times. I don't know. I hope our fans, and I know they are, they're at home, they're enjoying the victory. But we got great fans. I wish they were here to see it. But in the same token, it doesn't take away from the win. I'm excited about it.
I actually wasn't thinking about the fans. I was thinking Ethan has a tremendous picture of you with Teddy Valentine. I imagine it was easier for the officials to work the game and maybe work a more consistent game.
Nobody should ever hold against what I say in an empty building to the referees. You're not allowed to do that. So thanks, Joe, though. As an alumni, Joe, congratulations.
I'll send you that picture of you and Teddy B.
Thank you.
Andrew, go ahead.
Kevin, you have a lot of guys on this team who are from North Carolina, and a lot of the guys who stepped up and played well are from North Carolina. These are guys that have grown up watching and hearing about this rivalry. What do you think it means to them to get to live it and play in it for the first time for some of them?
Yeah, I think, Andrew, the biggest thing is when you get a win against Carolina, a lot of times people think that we shouldn't have that win. And so they make so much about the guys that we have on our team from Carolina. I mean, these guys are, we're excited that we beat Carolina, but that's not the narrative. The narrative is we're excited that we could start off our conference with 1-0. This is the toughest conference in college basketball. We didn't get a chance to play the Louisville game. Surely our guys from Carolina are excited, but, when you look at Carolina, they don't – some of those guys are from different places. So it's not that type of rivalry where they've got a bunch of Carolina guys and we've got a bunch of Carolina guys. Our guys are just excited to win. And and I don't have to tell you guys, that's a great program. Roy does a great job over there. We won the game. We'll move on. We're 1-0, and we're excited about it.
Justin, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. There was a point there with about 8 minutes to go where Carolina hit a three and pulled it within one, and then Devin Daniels had the next 8 points for you guys. Clearly down the stretch, you entrusted your veterans with an all-veteran lineup, but could you just talk about Devin Daniels' play down the stretch and just your ability to trust him with the ball in his hands down there in the second half?
Yeah, he's matured. You guys have you've reported on Devin Daniels for the last couple of years, and you know it's been in the past where he can shoot you in games or shoot you out of it. And you know I know what type of player I have in him, so I wanted to trust in my older guys, and he made plays. And maturity came from you should have saw him in the first half when he's sitting on the bench through every timeout. He's cheering these guys on, encouraging them. You should have saw him in the second half when he came back in and kind of continued the play that he had in the first half. And so I'm excited about his maturity. That's one of the things that I'm going to take away from this game was that Devin Daniels, I think took a big step forward as far as a leader today.
And I've got one more to follow up on Joe's question. Would you say it's bittersweet to get your first win over UNC in PNC Arena in front of no fans?
Hey, Justin, any win in this conference is golden. Doesn't matter if it's UNC or bittersweet. Look, it doesn't take away from it. Won't be an asterisk by it. It was a good game. It's a good win. We're excited about it. We're excited about winning any game in this conference if we had to play outside.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you, Justin.
Jonas?
Yeah, Coach, I had one more. Obviously, Cam returned tonight, but DJ, EB, the other guys were here, but didn't play. Does the medical staff have any extra concerns or any extra precautions while they was holding them out tonight, but they were here in the building?
Nothing extra, Jonas. It just takes time. This is a lengthy process. They have to obviously quarantine for 10 days. If they have symptoms a couple of days before the 10 days is over, it could be extended. And then once you come out, it's not automatically that you're able to get the echo and all of those different tests that you have to have. That may take a couple of days. Then you have to read the test. And once the doctor clear them, and then it may be 4 or 5 days before they return. And so we're going to have to get used to that. We just, hopefully nobody else gets the virus and we can be virus free. But, we're going to have to play with who we have. And, we were lucky to get Cam today. I thought he did a good job. I thought Sebron did a good job coming in. But without those guys, I don't think we win the game.
Corey?
Kevin, I think I know the answer to the question here, but I wanted to ask you, Shaquille Moore, the game he played, what was the reasoning for him not playing there in the final stretch?
I wanted the veterans. Those guys had earned the right to finish the game. They were veteran guys. We all have talked, not us, but me. I've said great things. We've all had so much negative things to say about Braxton Beverly over the years. But he's a calming effect. He keeps everybody calm. He's a tough kid. I wanted him with the ball in his hand at the end of the game. And I just, I went with the guys who I felt like could finish the game.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, Rob.
Yeah, Kevin, the various runs that Carolina had over the course of the game, what was your team's kind of mindset? How did they carry themselves? Is this something that you liked or didn't like? And how will that affect the team going forward?
We did a tremendous job handling everything that was presented to us in the way they had their runs. The only difference, if you want me to be nitpicky about it, we missed too many free throws down the stretch. But I couldn't have I had the better free throw shooters at the free throw line. But I thought our guys kept composure and our huddle was composed. Those guys finished. They talked about it's okay. They made a run. Let's get a stop now. Let's communicate. Let's score on the other end. And we did a great job with it.
All right, that's it, Coach. Thank you.
Everybody, stay safe. Don't ever take Christmas for granted, especially this year. If you're like me, where I'm not able to go see my family, try to figure out a way to FaceTime them, get them on the phone, love on them, love on your family. This is, I'm a big family guy. When it comes to Christmas, this is a special moment. Don't take it for granted. I'm going to be praying for each one of you guys. I'm going to be praying for your family or anybody that may be down because of the virus. We'll get through it, but it's going to take a group of us to get through it. So I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for covering us. Thanks for, the things that you do for our program. And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thanks, Coach. Merry Christmas to you too.
Appreciate you, Coach. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kevin. Merry Christmas.
All right.